I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. You will never turn things around. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Prince Harry and This One's Wife executively produced shitfest Polo came out last week. Other than the Sugars that did their level best to make it sound like it was the most exciting television program that had ever been produced, and with AI working its electronic nipples off by creating false reviews which were then plastered across IMDb, most right-thinking individuals recognised that it was both boring, banal, and a load of bollocks. However, this may well be seen as another watershed moment in the downward spiral of This One's Wife and Prince Harry. For as the Hollywood Gossip reports, This One's Wife and Prince Harry's long-awaited, well, I'm not sure that's quite right, docuseries Polo made its debut on Netflix last week. But you wouldn't know it from the couple's recent activities. Yes, given that they executive produced the series, and they both appear on camera in small cameo roles, you might expect that Harry and This One's Wife would be working hard to promote Polo. Now, pausing there. Ordinarily, it goes hand in glove that when you've created something, you look to promote it. Many people, for example, would like to write a book, and they sit down and do so. And then they're slightly flummoxed as to how they're not able, if they've gone down the self-publishing route, how they've not been able to sell masses of copies of it. And the reason is they're doing very little to promote it. In essence, writing the book's only half the battle. Promoting it is the other half. And you need the connections, you need the reach, and also the advertising budget to ensure that people know about it and might take an interest in it. Hence the necessity of publishing houses. They have that reach, they have the financial firepower, and they have the notable connections that might publicise the book. Similarly, when you make a film or a television program, the people involved in it tend to promote it, be the individuals who are the stars, that they do a round of interviews and they do associated publicity with it, and naturally, if you've produced it, you want it to be a success. And given that This One's Wife and Prince Harry are high-profile figures, you might have expected them to have done some kind of round of publicity for the purposes of seeing that the programme would be a success. But the fact is, they don't really care so much about it being a success. Here's why. You would think that This One's Wife would want it to be a success because then she could say, look at what I've created, isn't it brilliant? And also you might think that she would want it to be a success so that she could say to Netflix, see, we can deliver excellent content, now give us another 5-year contract worth $100 million. But remember, she operates in the moment. She is not this calculating Svengali, but rather she's a grasping social climbing narcissist that is focused on the instance, the now, the moment. She sees this as more of Harry's baby rather than hers. Yes, she'll stick her name to it, and yes, if it became successful, she would certainly look to take the credit. But she's not going to put her shoulder to the boulder to try and push this particular dead donkey up a hill. Not at all. The reason being is that, first of all, she's lazy, that she isn't thinking of what the returns might be with the consequence of some effort, and, as mentioned, she sees it more as Prince Harry's creation rather than her own. Furthermore, This One's Wife has this mentality of, if I've created it, it'll be brilliant, why do I need to do anything else? Similar to, I've created American Riviera Orchard, someone will now come along and ask to buy it off me, and all I've had to do is think of a name and do a stupid video and bung some jam to some people who weren't really interested, and I'll be able to sell it for millions because, after all, it's associated with me. This is demonstrative of her magical thinking, her sense of entitlement, her lack of accountability to actually put some spade work in. The article continues by explaining, rather than promoting it, they seem to be distancing themselves from the project, which might be a smart move considering the ice-cold reception Polo has received thus far. If it had been doing well, This One's Wife would have been claiming credit for it. Since it has tanked, she asserts control, or rather nullifies the threat to control by virtue of the poor reviews, by distancing herself from it, the third assertion of control. As a glorified reality show, the docuseries label is quite a stretch here. The show has been mostly ignored by critics. In fact, only one review, a 2 out of 5 rating from The Guardian, is linked on Rotten Tomatoes. It's clattering and niche and feels like a spoof documentary designed to play on screens in the background of episodes of Succession, wrote the outlet's Stuart Heritage. Ouch. The critics have universally slammed the show. Harry and This One's Wife are box office poison. Of course, everyone is running away from it, in every direction, so too as not to pick up the stench of this colossal bomb, marketing expert Tony Case told the Daily Beast. From a brand perspective, I'm not really sure anything can be done at this point to reverse consumers' obvious apathy towards the Sussexes, Case adds. They set out to conquer America, but nobody here, it turned out, found them or what they're peddling to be particularly compelling. The outlet describes Polo as a reality TV-style take on Polo that's been compared to Selling Sunset in the Real Housewives franchise, just without the ratings. This is the latest in a long line of PR setbacks for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Signs of the couple's plummeting popularity stateside began when This One's Wife Spotify podcast was cancelled after just one season. Accordingly, Harry and This One's Wife are putting on a brave face and saying it's a good bit of fun and ultimately not something to get worked up about, says the insider. As far as they're concerned, it's very unfair, victim mentality, that they're catching heat. They take issue with people who roll their eyes and call them reality TV sellouts. This One's Wife knows it doesn't really matter how she and Harry feel about it. Perception is everything, and now online forums are burning up with people ridiculing them, the source adds. The Beast adds that Prince William may have subtly trolled Harry and This One's Wife by revealing that he's addicted to a different Netflix show, the Keira Knightley spy thriller Black Doves. This is a worst-case scenario for Harry and This One's Wife, who are in desperate need of a hit following a year of bad press and failed projects. Now more than ever, This One's Wife will need her lifestyle brand to take off like a shot in 2025. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, is it? But here we are. They're being told that they're box office poison, that they are never going to turn it around. And that's the fact. That is because they've reached that point whereby many people don't care about them, a lot of people don't like them, and that position has become entrenched. And no matter what they try to do, they're not able to shift those perceptions, which means every single thing that they try is going to be doomed to failure and will result in further ridicule. They don't have the talent, they don't have the charisma, they don't have the ability. They would have been better laying low and staying quiet. But of course, driven by This One's Wife's narcissism and the necessity of being seen, she keeps trying, and because of her magical thinking and operating in the moment, she simply doesn't learn from the mistakes, which leads to them being labelled box office poison. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.